Hello, good morning, guys. As you may know, I have posted a form where people that have lost TRX in Troncase 1 are able to recoup some or all of their lost TRX because of the contract being drained so drastically. Anyway, I wanted to bring to you guys an update from Michael and Brayden, who have been some of the US leaders who've been in Troncase and have been strong advocates of Troncase. One thing that they have been pushing really hard is that it wasn't a rug pull and not something that they intended to happen. So let's just take a listen to what they have to say, and some, people on their team have really been digging to show proof for them to redeem at least their teams for Troncase. So take a listen, be objective, and we'll be back with more updates. If you have not seen the form, it's on our Facebook page and also in the link on several videos on YouTube. So here we go.
Hello, Troncase community. Brayden and Mike here with another update for today. We want to share some news with you that we just found out today from our good friend RJ, and we've got some news that may please some of you guys, or some of you may disagree with it, some of you will agree with it, but what we're trying to do here is give you all the information that we have and that we can share with our entire community. And this is, you guys are one of the best communities we've ever been a part of. But we do want to give you what we found out today, and that this is today that we found this out. And we want to be transparent with each and every one of you guys out there. So whether you think this, whether you like this video or don't like this video, we just want to give this news out to everybody that we know. And with that said, Brayden has got, the information that we need to share, and then I'll come back on and we'll talk about, after that. So Brayden, if you want to start it off?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mike. So yeah, what we're doing here is we're being fully transparent. Okay. So whenever we find out something, we have to share that. We can't keep that. We're just not going to do that. We're fully transparent. I mean, I completely agree, and I love the decentralization arena that we're all in here. I love everything about it. And one of the key items on that is full transparency and proof. So I don't deal in stories that you see online. There's already been several that have tried to discredit Troncase, saying that it's, it was a rug pull, it was an exit scam. And we all know that that's not the case, especially if you look at the facts. So now, what we found out today, though, so as Mike said, our good friend RJ Jimenez did his review on the contract. I talked to him the other day and I said, yeah, you're definitely going to do that, I hope. And he goes, absolutely. And he did. So he did his review, and a lot of people may have already seen that are viewing this call. Basically, the Troncase Pro is the same as Troncase. The code was checked. I'm not going to go into full detail on this because we are going to post RJ's review on our Facebook group page. But we're not, so I won't go into a deep view on this. But the contract itself, again, proved as safe. There's no code in there that can allow any of the admin wallet addresses to funnel money out of it. It's perfectly clean and guaranteed on that. However, there was some code in there that seemed to be different than Troncase 1. One of them is that when we first were told about the contract, it was going to be a 300 TRX minimum contribution. And the 100 transactions per account was just going to maintain in place. It seems that those were reversed. So we have right now in the contract a 300 limit contribution per account. And a 100 TRX minimum. So it's almost like, whether it was intentional or not, they may have gotten reversed and we don't know. But because the contract has already been launched onto the blockchain, it becomes immutable, cannot be changed, and it is what it is. The other thing on the code that was noticed is there was supposed to be the limit of 4 million Tron per account, the way that we all thought the first one was, and it ended up not being that. And there's nowhere in the code that shows otherwise on that. So what that means is that per account, it could be a pretty big deposit. And that is different from the first one. Now, again, I'm not a programmer myself. I'm going on RJ's knowledge here, but I respect his knowledge, and I know he knows what he's looking at. So it's not the same as Troncase 1, and it does not prevent the ability for the account, the balance account, to be drained as it was in the first one. Of course, on our first video that we did, we mentioned that the my suggestion and Michael's was to have an auto recontribute to go into the code of the new one. They did not do that, and we pointed that out. But the reason we moved ahead with Troncase Pro is because we don't want to leave our community. We don't want to leave the group.
Well, we also didn't know those codes, we just looked at the codes today, or RJ did. And when we noticed that the suggestions that we made was not in there, and then of course those other things that you talked about, Brayden, then this is why we are announcing this today and having a Zoom call recording with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we have to be fully transparent here. So so based on this, again, our minds, when it comes to supporting our community and supporting the group, hasn't changed and never will. However, based on this new information and a couple other questions that we haven't received answers on, there's no way that we could go ahead and do Zoom calls and promote Troncase Pro at this point. Okay, so I did want to share that and be fully transparent on what we found out.
Yeah, let me mention too, Brayden. So Brayden just said that we can't. Brayden and I spoke, and it's a hard decision to make. We want to do what's best for the community, and half of you will agree with us, and half of you probably won't. But we tried our best to have hope that 2.0 is, and it could happen. So what we're trying to say here is, it could last forever. It honestly could, if the community stays together and the balance stays up. It could last forever. But what we noticed in the contract is it's the same as it was in Troncase 1, and there's nothing to prevent it from happening again. And for what Brayden and I went through, and all of you guys, and we're not just Brayden and I, but all of you guys went through, we don't want to go through that again. And Brayden and I have been very heartbroken. Had some tears a little bit, but we have to make tough decisions. And our decision here is not to promote Troncase going forward. But what we also want you guys to understand is yesterday when we came up with the video, we didn't have these results. We didn't have this information yesterday. We also didn't sign up a whole lot of people. There was only, a few people that got with us. But with, like what Brayden said, we're trying not to leave you out there high and dry, but we just honestly cannot promote this going forward, knowing what we know what's in the contract today. Anything else? Brayden?
Yeah. So again, the idea, everybody needs to, take this video in, and Troncase, as Mike said, Troncase Pro could go on for a long time. And do very well. I mean, there is absolutely less stress on the contract because, the 0.5% to a maximum of 1.5% earnings. There are community bonuses there, but of course they're very difficult to achieve. And maybe that was the plan, to not stress the contract out. So that's fantastic. The proof that, again, no exit scams, no rug pulls, fantastic. But there's nothing in the code that we can see that will prevent what happened to Troncase 1. And because of that, we will not feel ethically right to be able to promote this. Again, Mike said that we just found this out early this morning, and this is why we're doing this video.
Yeah, and let me touch on Martin and Eric. It's not their fault. It's what we need to do is understand that whoever came up with the contract, and of course there's no company, right? It's a community. But whoever came up with the new contract is responsible for this, and whether it's Martin or Eric or who the programmers or whatever, they are ethical people. I think they're good people. We just feel that it's just not the right contract at this time. If they were to come out with a new contract later, we would take a look at it. But we feel that there's a possibility of it happening the same exact way as Troncase 1. And Brayden and I can't go through that again. We put too much effort into it.
Right. So what you have to do, okay, and again, this is coming, from the bottom of our hearts, is we're not telling you not to move ahead. The contract's there. It's a safe contract as far as what a lot of people think of as far as scams. It's absolutely safe. It's just there's nothing that can prevent what happened in Troncase, and that's worrisome for me. And I can't move ahead not telling people that. So this is what we're doing now. We're telling people this. Now you can absolutely go ahead and do your due diligence. If this is something that you want to move ahead in, by all means, you can go ahead. Mike and I are going to be here. We're obviously not doing Zooms, and the Facebook group will be there for any information that we'll put on there that can provide continuous updates. We're just not going to promote it because I don't like the fact that the same thing can happen again. Okay. Risk, no risk. I mean, it's whatever way you look at it. If you are comfortable and you want to put in a certain amount, that's your call. No one can tell you what to do on that. Contract will do what it's programmed to do, as the first one did. Be assured that there's no scam on this, but there is a risk, and you have to weigh that risk out on what you feel is right for you. So that's what we're telling you, not telling you to not join. We're not telling you to join. You have to make the decision on that. And we're just providing facts that we know at this moment. Okay. So again, I really want to thank RJ, for doing his thing, high ethics, very transparent as well. We're going to post his review on the Facebook page right after this post in our video.
Yeah, and if you get this video before RJ's, just look for it in the Facebook group and listen to RJ's video, because this is one of our decisions, that we made because of his research. So we want to thank every one of you guys. We had 300-400 people on our Zoom calls. This, hopefully Troncase 2 or Pro lasts for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. But knowing what we know, we can't ethically promote it anymore because it could happen the same way as the first one. And we just can't handle it two times in a row. So thank you guys for listening to us. And again, if we hear anything else, we will update you guys in the Facebook group. Thanks, guys. Hello, Troncase.
Okay, guys, so the big takeaway from this pretty much is that Michael and Brayden are not going to support the Troncase 2.0. They haven't said any more on the subject in the last couple of days, but it's purely up to you. So something that they kept saying is like, it's not, they don't feel as ethically right or to promote or to pursue Troncase Pro. But I think something that everyone should, keep in mind that cryptocurrency, any type of investing really is a risk. And, you have to, when you go in, you have to know when to go out, like how much is enough for you. You should go in with a plan. Like, so if you double your TRX or triple your TRX, it's pretty much up to you. So similar to the people that got in early and put in a lot of TRX, I know it sucks, but it's their right to pull their TRX if they want to. So is that a rug pull? No. Should it have a better system of like an automatic redeposit? Yes. Should it have 11 levels? Probably not, because it's too easy to game a smart contract. But you have to see where you are in your process and your comfort level for investing, and you have to act accordingly. So I know a lot of people are, they're just like, they're crooks or whatever, but you have to look in the mirror also. Would you have lost any TRX if you hadn't invested it? Probably not. So there's blame to go around for everyone, but what you have to do is just do your own research, do your own education by watching videos and checking out contracts. And there's still no 100% guarantee that you will come out on top, but you learn through experience. So you don't have to point fingers when a contract dies. It's just that, you learned a lesson and you learn to be a little bit more diligent and just know when to get in and know when to get out. And that's, there is no rule book on that. And that's what I'd like everyone to understand. Everything is very cyclical in the cryptocurrency world. It'll be up one day, down the next. You'll have some great wins and you might have some great losses. It's up to you. Until tomorrow, I will see you then.